Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Hope you're having a fantastic day, or will have a fantastic day. We just got patch 1.22 this week. I believe it's 1.22. A little freshen up for the game. Actually, some considerable amount of content. A lot of rebalance on tanks. It's questionable in some cases, but we'll see what happens. Got to wait for the numbers to pan out, see what the meta does, if anything. But the other two significant things I can think of are the British medium wheeled tank line, which is cool. We'll get into those later on, and a lot of map changes. Now, Mountain Pass has significant changes on it. I'm going to show you a few of those. We're headed down to the south on this particular match. Down here around this Brawl area, which has changed quite a bit. You can tell just by looking at the minimap there. Now, when I spawned into this, I wasn't really thinking about the map changes. Hadn't even crossed my mind, or I didn't remember that they had happened. So I'm going to kind of autopilot down to the south, looking at the matchup top tier with tier 6s to beat up. They have a Chrysler, an Iron Arnie, and a T-44, all of which I can pretty much handle, I do believe, in my Iron Arnie. We'll get moving here in a minute. I'm not sure what I was doing right here. Phone call. That's right. I was talking to somebody on the phone. So we hung up and off we went. What I didn't realize at first was they have changed the crossing point here, so it's easier to cross without getting shot. And for a moment there, I was going to go to the middle, and then I changed my mind and said, oh, let's try to get shots across the middle. And then I changed my mind again and said, no, let's keep trucking. And about here, I should have realized, but we're going to pause and check this out real quick. Look at this. You could lose a lot of hit points crossing right here, and now there are very few. In fact, I don't know. I suppose if somebody on the other side gets up on that sniper spot, they might have the elevation to shoot you right here. But man, they would have to be fast, and you'd have to be pretty slow. Yes, there are probably tanks that can do that, and slower tanks than the Iron Arnie. So this small opening right here is probably still a little bit vulnerable. There's another little sniper post right there. We went zinging by. I did get lit. You'll notice that a bunch of my team is checking that out, right? We've got all the snipperinos up there trying to be snippers. I'm going to keep trucking. Now, I still haven't really realized that the map has changed. I saw that as I went by, but it simply did not register. Check this out. This has changed a bit. I still haven't realized it, although this is considerably different. You look at this right here. We've got this upper area here you can drive up to and kind of start going hold down and taking on guys here. Or maybe, I don't know if there's shots up here or not. We'll have to delve into that later. But much narrower here. Very interesting, actually. 3045 stops, and I keep going, and it was about here that I realized, oh, map changes. That's right. We have a significant number of map changes. So taking a look at what we've got, I see the T-44. I know there's a Chrysler K on the enemy team. There it is. I know there's a Chrysler K on the enemy team, and I know there's an Iron Arnie, neither of which I've seen, but the T-44 was seen crossing, and I really feel like with the number of guys we had sitting up here, they would have seen if the Iron Arnie or the Chrysler were trying to cross. So this makes me feel like we've got a pretty good advantage here. I'm just going to go at this guy. We'll shoot him on the run. It actually works out for me. I get 2 bounces. Fantastic. That's that Iron Arnie armor. All right, so check that out. Sniper spot. They've really expanded that. That gives this southern spawn a much better position to kind of take it on. Although my concern here is that it's hold down v hold down. But there you go. You know, World of Tanks meta. That's where we seem to be. We'll see how that pans out. You know, normally the southern spawn, if they could get around here, would be stacked up here and trying to poke and prod, and maybe somebody over here. So I don't have any guesstimations on how this is going to pan out in terms of the meta. You will notice that I think we have the heavy over here. The Chrysler K has been lit. The 100-01P and the Hellcat are holding on, and this 100-01 does a really nice job holding off a lot of other guys right here. So this is just me more or less pressing W with a tier 8. Once I get rid of the T-44, it's kind of all over for these guys. They don't really have anything that can handle me. Good on the 3045 for going in there and starting to take on this guy. Should have gone for a track. I kind of was. I just didn't quite get there. And then I let him get into my side, which was a mistake. He low rolls. That's not a good roll right there. We're just going to blap him on the way through. I'm not even bothering with the heat right now. There's just nothing so far that's been a problem for me. Don't really want to give him a shot into my side. He'll hit for 180, so actually that's a 100, so I think he hits for a little more. Then I kind of caught the Hellcat out in the open, and the 100's not interested in coming around, so we'll just use the Dead 44 as a little bit of armor here. And I'm looking to cross across here, so that's what it looks like, fellas. You've got that sniper spot right there. The sniper spot on the north spawn is still there, but it's changed a little bit, and the bushes are gone. Very interesting. There's another little spot right there that juts out. Of course, you've got this center area with the ramp. I think that's lower than it was, potentially. And the Type 64 is probably having... Is he down below? No, he's up top, shooting down into the bottom area. This makes me feel like that bottom area is even less survivable at this point. And then we've got a bunch of the purples over here camping in the middle. I say camping, where else do you go in this map, right? I mean, this map is so narrow and channelized based on how much of it is unusable because of the mountains. So really, all those light tanks, where do they go? They go north and face brawl. They go south down here and help swarm. Kind of like mine are more or less doing, although here come the rest of them, the GSOR, 1010, and Hellcat. Or they hang out in the middle and look for an opportunity, and that's more or less what these guys are doing. Find this guy, he lights me. He doesn't have a good clue as to what exactly is going on in this game. Tries to back up into some cover. I think I take a shot from him, but bounce it. Overpowering with a tier 8 with good armor against tier 6s. This was mostly about just showing you what it looked like. I think that back part wasn't changed too much. Those rocks, I believe, were there as well. Let's see what it looks like here, though. We'll go ahead and kill that Thunderbolt. So check that out, where the 64 is fighting. This is the other side. We'll go ahead and pause it. So we've got a sniper spot here. We've got... That spot has a bush now for spotting. So it's better spots for scouts, but it's less shots. Look at that little dugout right there to go through. So I'm not sure. It looks like there's still some possibilities for cross shots. There's a little bit more cover to keep you from getting wrecked. So I think there's still some possibility of scouts getting up in those spots. At the very least, getting SA on what is crossing over there, and maybe some shots for artillery or faster snipers who might be able to get in position in time. So I believe you're still probably going to bleed some hit points crossing. It shouldn't be as bad. We will see. Got a Hellcat right here. We'll just come around the corner and slap him. Keep on trucking. I'm going to eat an arty shot. I'm thinking about going to the middle where the hit points are, and then I change my mind because of this. And I say, you know what? I don't care about the hit points. What I really want to do is go find that arty. Now, I don't have this plan in my brain as of right now because I don't know exactly where this arty is, but I come up with a cunning plan as soon as I find where he is. I figure based on the trajectory, he's in this corner. I wonder if he might have run. I think I was spotted. So I don't, you can see that my light bulb doesn't go off. So I think he spotted me way back here, and I've been spotted on the whole run-in right here. Pretty quickly, I actually find him. Let's see if it's a proxy light. Could be close. Yeah, looks like it's a proxy light. There he is, and that's when the plan is hatched to take care of a arty player in the appropriate manner. Let me get set up. Okay, here we go. And we're not even going to shoot him, fellas. We're just going to ram him. He shoots me. And we're just going to toss him off. We'll just toss him off the high ground here. There you go. See ya. Goodbye. Oh, 1 hit point. So now I'm thinking, what do I do with that? Is he going to drown? I'm not sure if he's in the water. Do I want to dive on him? I'm thinking I might want to dive on him. It looks like we got it handled. This is what I'm checking right now. I want to make sure I don't dive in there and then lose the game. Looks like we've got that guy sorted out. So we'll kind of truck over here, and I think, can I get a shot? No. Am I able to maneuver to just dive on top of him? Doesn't, never mind, doesn't matter. Oh, that was perfect. Look at that, the Iron Arnie still has a few hit points. Can I go sneak a little bit more damage from the Iron Arnie, the 3045? I don't know what he's doing. Did he? Oh, he's waiting for him to come out from behind, I guess. Or he missed, or yeah, maybe he didn't have a shot. I can see the Iron Arnie sort of backing up, so we'll just get here. We'll wait to get zoomed in, put one right into the back. Rolled a 336, nice little high roll, and we finished up the game with 4 kills, 2,847 damage, 580 bounced, and no assist. More or less the old Rompel stomp going on. I fought a bunch of tier 6s and one poor tier 8 that was outnumbered. Like I said, for the 100's dead, but he did some nice work up here holding their other 2 tier 8s and some other cats and dogs. So well done him. Who is Augustin 4, could be anonymous, who knows. So just some of the changes. Obviously I didn't look at the middle, and I didn't look at what has changed up there in the north. Lots more to check out on this map, but I thought you guys might be interested in what this one looked like a little bit, how you might go about it. The meta is, I don't know, I'm not going to make any guesses. Obviously I think that's going to become more of a static brawl once people realize how to get into position, and I think it might take a little while for both sides to realize they can cross, and you'll start to see heavier things go that way potentially. Vice kind of fast things. So we'll see what happens. It should be interesting. I'm not convinced these are perfectly safe to cross anymore yet. Still something. I'm not convinced they're perfectly safe to cross. So you still want to be careful there. But you should lose less hit points. There shouldn't be any of these murderers sniper roll, especially in the north. One poor guy getting spotted and losing 85% of his hit points. Theoretically, we shouldn't see that anymore on this. But like I said, the meta is what it is. When people start playing and figuring out, it will be interesting to see if this really changes this map too much. I don't think so generally. It's going to change how the positions are played. I don't think it's going to change how the map is played because it's so channelized. It's a 3-corridor map. You got the bridge, you got the north, you got the south. Nothing has changed. So it should play more or less the same way. It's just the small positions on how they're played will be changed. And we'll see if it ends up being overpowered in one way or the other. The problem is when it's asymmetric positions like they have built here, almost always one or the other position starts to get an advantage. People figure that out, and that becomes the meta. But at least it's changed. This is something I've talked about a lot. I don't actually care that much that the meta eventually solidifies into an advantage on one side or the other, because if you get to that point, then change it again. That's what's fun about it. You figure it out, and you start to get better and better at it, and then if it becomes too static or too obvious that one side or the other has advantage, then you change it again. Just iterative improvements on maps. That's what Wargaming should have been doing the whole time with all of their maps, and hopefully, because they did a lot of changes this time, hopefully they've sort of figured out some of that process, and maybe they'll be a little faster about changing it. And who cares? Sometimes even if a map's great, you can still change it a little bit here and there just to spice it up. All right, guys, 1.22 is out. Let me know what you think down below. That's all I've got. We will see ya.